Good morning, student. Today we will start a new topic, which is Jahangir. So, student, in our previous videos, our previous classes, we studied about the Humayun and Akbar's expansion policy, and today we will study about the Jahangir. So, student, Jahangir was son of Akbar. After Akbar's death in 1605 CE, Jahangir was came to the throne. Okay, and Jahangir was known for his imperial justice to his people. Also, he was irrespective of their religious faith. He continued Akbar's policy and earned respect from all spheres of the society. Okay, so basically Jahangir was also like Akbar. Okay, he also respect all the religion, he respect all the people. Okay, so he also so his people were also happy with Jahangir. Okay, then Mughal rule under Jahangir was noted for political stability, big economic activity, beautiful painting and monumentals building. So basically, Jahangir was an art lover. Okay, during his reign, that time was noted for the political stability, also the economical activity, and beautiful paintings and monumentals building and by the beginning of the 17th century, the Mughal Empire had acquired unparalleled military strength and economic prosperity. Okay, and this is happening during Jahangir's season was, however, marked by several revolts also, like Guru Arjan Dev Martyred and Prince Khurram rebelled also happened in Jahangir's period. Okay, so thus, because of Guru Arjan Dev, Sikh community alligating with Jahangir, even Jahangir's son Prince Khurram was also was Jahangir's son. He was also against the Jahangir. Okay, and during Jahangir time, European trader had started coming to India. In 1608, Captain William Hawkins, a representative of East India Company, okay, came to Jahangir courts. The first ambassador of the Mughal court was Sir Thomas Roe, who come in 1615. Okay, he was able to secure many trading facilities for the British traders, and the first English trading post was established as Surat. So, during the Jahangir period, East India Company came to India, and they established their first trading port at Surat. Okay, so Jahangir's reason was very politically very stable. He was lover of art, and he and the economical activities also boosted during his reign. But in Jahangir's time, okay, in Jahangir's time, East India Company came to India, and they established their first post at Surat. Okay, so now Shah Jahan. Okay, so next topic is Shah Jahan after his father death. Shah Jahan or Prince Khurram. So student, Prince Khurram is become Shah Jahan. So this Prince Khurram was another name of Shah Jahan, and he son of Jahangir. And after Jahangir demise, he took the throne in 1628. He faced two major revolts during the early part of rule by Khan Jahan Lodi and by Jujhar Singh of Bundelkhand. Okay, so this Shah Jahan, after taking throne, he faced two major revolts during his early part of his rule. First one was Khan Jahan Lodi, and second one was with So second one is Jujhar Singh of Bundelkhand. There was famine and plague in large part of Gujarat, Khandesh and Deccan, in which thousands of people died. Abdul Hamid Lahori described in his accounts that strategies adopted by Shah Jahan to control situation of famine and plague, the Nizam Shahi dynasty of Ahmednagar, was brought under Mughal control in 1633 by Shah Jahan. The Deccan Sultanate of Bijapur and Golconda accepted his supremacy. In 1636, he reconquered Kandahar in 1638 and routed the Uzbek at Balkans in 1647. He also annexed the region of Kamrupa in Assam. Shah Jahan shifted the capital of the Mughal Empire from Agra to Delhi and ruled from the Red Fort, Lal Killa. Okay, so student, basically in Shah Jahan Shah Jahan ascend the throne in 1628 after the demise of his father Jahangir, and during his early period he was face two major revolt. Okay, first one is by Khan Jahan Lodi, and second one by Jujhar Singh of Bundelkhand. And during his time period, there was he also faced he Jahangir Shah Jahan also faced natural disaster, you can say, like here plague and famine is many people of large part of Gujarat, Khandesh and Deccan were suffering from famine and plague, and thousands of people died. Okay, so Abdul Hamid Lahori described in his account that the strategy adopted by Shah Jahan to control situation of famine and plague. Okay, so Nizam Shahi dynasty of Ahmednagar Shah Jahan brought Nizam Shahi dynasty of Ahmednagar under Mughal control in 1633. Okay, then the Deccan Sultanate of Bijapur and Golconda also accepted his supremacy, Shah Jahan's or Mughal Empire supremacy in 1636. After this, Shah Jahan conquered Kandahar in 1638, and then he routed the Uzbek and Balkan in 1647, and he also annexed the region of Kamrupa in Assam, and Shah Jahan shifted his capital from Agra to Delhi, and he ruled from the Red Fort, which is known as Lal Killa. Okay, so I hope you all understand Shah Jahan. Next, we will study about Aurangzeb. Okay, so student, Aurangzeb, the next Mughal ruler, had three rival brothers, so his accession of the throne was not smooth. He killed his brother, and then imposition of his father Shah Jahan and crowned himself at Delhi, assuming the title of Alamgir. Okay, so Aurangzeb take the title of Alamgir. He killed his brother for throne. Okay, and he also imprisoned his father Shah Jahan. Okay, and then he assuming the Delhi Sultanate. He ruled for 50 years till his death in February 1707 in Ahmednagar. Okay, so his time period was 50 years. Aurangzeb's time period was 50 years. He died in February 1707 in Ahmedabad. Okay, during his reign, Aurangzeb was able to annex Bijapur and Golconda. The last 26 years of his life were full of conflict in the Deccan and North India. Okay, so basically he continuing fighting with other states, and he wanted to expand his territory. Under his rule, the border of the Mughal Empire spread out further than even ever before. But it was difficult to hold the empire together. Okay, So Aurangzeb spread his empire, okay, but it was very difficult to him to control that empire together. He had to face rebellion from the Marathas under Shivaji, the Sikh, the Zat, and the Satnamis. Okay, through the ruled longer than any of his predecessor, he could not stop the decline of Mughal Empire. A war of succession has followed his death. Okay, so Aurangzeb faced many problems with his rivalries, who are they are Marathas who was under the Shivaji, the Sikh, the Jat, and the Satnami. Okay, Aurangzeb not ruled so long time than his predecessor, but he could not stop the decline of Mughal emperor. A war of succession also followed his death. Aurangzeb through gave many grant for the restoration of Hindu temples, but he was also famous for his tyranny against the Hindus. Okay, he reintroduced Zakia tax on the Hindus. Okay, so Aurangzeb reintroduced basically Zakia, which in the tax on the Hindus, and demolished many temples, especially in politically violent reason. Okay, so basically Aurangzeb was very cruel ruler. Okay, who he not support he was very cruel, and he expand his territory. Okay, his time period was very short, but in that short period he captured many of reason he extend his region or his territory. Okay, so student, I hope you all understand this topic, and tomorrow we will study Mughal administration. So I request to you, please read page number 28 and 29, so it will be helpful to you for understanding. So this is enough for today, student. If you have any doubt, any query, free feel to ask. Okay, so thank you so much. Have a nice day.